Hello, John with Traveler's Farm, here working on the Panamera. We got upper and lower control arms to install, also some sway bar bushings. Hello, John with Traveler's Farm, here working on the Panamera. We got upper and lower control arms to install, also some sway bar bushings. So I'll catch you up with where we are. First, dropped off the front section of the well liner. Also, dropped this little plastic air deflector, directs air to the brakes. Went in with an 18 millimeter, loosened these bolts and nuts. Went ahead and marked those. That way, when I put it back together, the alignment will be somewhat right. I'll have to check that once I put it in. Get everything put back together. Up top, pop the ball joint, 18 millimeter here, 10 millimeter on this guy. Just go ahead and pull this loose. It'll be just as simple. I'd rather not pop the joint out. Similar to dog bones on RC cars, and once you pop those on and off, tends to possibly split. Just don't want to take a chance on it. And from here, we're going to drop the car down. Oh, we'll remove the sway bar links, 18 millimeter. Just got that together just to kind of keep everything solid. That way nothing starts drooping down. I'll take those loose at a later time, but I'll drop it down. A couple nuts on top of the strut. Also, a couple nuts in the engine compartment for the upper control arm bolts. So that's where we are. We're about 2 hours in. Done both sides and not been any type of hurry, which I never get in a hurry. And we'll check back in. All right, we're up top now. 3 nuts on each side, 1, 2, and the third one was accessible through here, barely. And 12 millimeter on this nut. This little clip here should just slide right off. And then this should just lift up. There's the connection on this side. This side did have to pull this panel off, and this little guy here lifts up out of the way, and right down there is the nut. So 1, 2, 3. Also 12 here on the airline, and we'll pull this clip off, and then we'll get back under it. Okay, so I pulled the bolts out, slid the knuckle over toward the outside of the car. Inner bushings came out of their slots. Tilt it down, lift up, pull the front ball joint out. With the parts on the ground side by side, new one and old one. Only difference is numbers have been ground off, either so they can't sell it as a factory part. It could be factory seconds or new old stock. If anyone knows, leave a comment. Just curiosity, I'd like to know. Realistically, doesn't matter. They're going in, and hopefully we won't see that again. Working on the top control arm, I'm able to get the bolts access there. Front one, no problem. Nuts, very accessible. Back one, looks like I want to tear into this. So, wiper's got to come off, at least one, possibly both of them. Don't want to lose it, so There we go. And put a little tape on the wipers. Okay, so I've encountered, I think, the worst part of this job down in here. Around and down there is the nut for the one side. So I had to loosen this, try to remove it. It doesn't want to come loose. I think it just presses in, but I don't want to risk breaking it. So got the nuts out. And bolts are loose. So I'll simply pull those out. See if this will sit right there. He's down on the strut. Slow pressure. There's the arm. All right, got the upper taken off. Still got to swap this out, but just wanted to compare the two real quick. Again, similar to the bottom, lower. Certain key parts are ground off. And just show the wear. Sure, it's not supposed to do that. So we should see an improvement. So we've got both uppers on, driver's side lower, and just thought I would check in. If it wasn't for this one, well, 2 bolts, if it wasn't for the back bolt on these, the job wouldn't be too bad. Try to get a picture down there. The wrench is on the nut. There are at least 4 wire bundles in the way, wedged over with this on one side, have a piece of PVC pipe, then PVC pipe on the other side. But I just wanted to let you see where it is. So just standard 5/8 Craftsman. It's a 16 millimeter bolt, 5/8. Right down there it is. So these other bundles. All right, got the Panamera finished. Just gonna do a quick wrap up. The upper and lower control arms were installed. The sway bar bushings, did those as well. Also did service on the engine and transmission with the filter for the transmission. Did notice some cracking on the transmission mount, so if you're planning on doing one of these, go ahead and pick up a mount before you start. I plan on grabbing one and going back into it before long, sooner rather than later. Things to note, upper control arms, the rear nuts are tough to get to, and the lower shock bolt on the passenger side is hard to get to if you're only doing shocks. If you're pulling the control arms off, it's not that big a deal because it's coming out. You have a lot more mobility there, a lot more leeway to get it out. But all in all, the job wasn't difficult. Just make sure you got a torque wrench. Make sure you have plenty of wrenches and sockets. Way to block the car up. I used a quick jack. It worked great. First time I've used it was on this project. So I feel it's a good investment. Got 2 cars. I do my own maintenance, do my own service. So it will come in handy. Stores out of the way really well. Goes up super easy. But if you have any questions on projects, leave them in the comments. I'll try to get back to you with this. It wasn't too bad of a job. And the results well worth it. The ride is amazing. She did not ride bad before, but she rides great now. Comfort mode, super plush. Sport mode, much more responsive. Sport Plus drops down a little bit, and even more responsive, just a lot tighter all around. So if you're thinking about doing the control arms, my suggestion is go ahead and do it sooner rather than later. And that's all we have. Thank you for watching.